Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you are having a great day so far. It's only 10:30 here in California, but I am on a roll already. Laundry, house cleaning, a couple of people on oil studies, samples shared already. I'm probably going to slow down at about 2 o'clock today because I am going so fast. But thank you so much for joining me on our first business meeting of 2023. Okay, there's a lot of information to cover. I'm excited that you have made time to be here with us. The first thing I want to throw out there is who has chosen their word for the year, the power to be in 2023. Please drop that in the chat and share with us. My word is more. I want to become more, a bigger person, a better person, so that I could help more people. It's kind of simple, but it really ties in with my why. Positivity, purposeful, consistent, love that. So if you have enough, awesome. I am enough, right, Lynn? Love it. So if you haven't chosen your word for the year, please go ahead and do that. Also, figuring out your why. It ties into that, right? What is your why? Have you ever heard of that before? Most of us have, right? Why do you do this business? Sometimes your why changes over the course of your doTERRA business. When I first started, it was simply just to make a little bit of extra money to cover my product. That was really simple. But as I grew to silver, my why changed. And now my doTERRA business is the biggest business that I run. Most of you here know that I'm also a clinical massage therapist as well as a certified labor doula. All three of those businesses are productive and I am busy in all three, but my doTERRA business is my main one and I absolutely love it. So figure out what it is, what your why is, okay? And if somebody is brave enough at the end of our call to share their why on why they do this business or any suggestions on how to come up with your why, then I would love to hear them. You can watch YouTube videos and you can read books about it, but sometimes it helps us to figure that out and revisit that thought at the beginning of the year, right? Because we want to set goals, incremental goals for the whole year. And so revisiting your why in the month of January is huge. Now, I may skip around. I have a list of things that I want to go through. May not be as organized as I wanted it to, but before I go to the next thing, I just want to ask, is there anything particular that you are hoping to cover that we're going to cover today? Did you come to this class with any kind of questions? Because this is an opportunity to ask questions as a builder so that we know where we can help you, where we need to work on things, or are you just open to hearing my outline of things to cover? Anybody? Anybody give that some thought?
I'm here to hear the outline and just get some information.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Dee. So let's just move on to the next thing. I have on my list, get classes scheduled. All right. Who here needs to do that for the month of January? Yeah, I only have 2 classes. Well, I have a regular Zoom class every Wednesday at 4:30, but I want to do more in-person classes. So I think that's where it is going to be at for 2023. People are much more willing to connect in that way. So classes are like number one if you're considered a builder. Now they could be small classes. They don't have to be huge classes, right? You don't need to have 10 to 15 people at your home, although you can. But say you just have a one-on-one meeting up for coffee with somebody. You could certainly do that on a weekly basis. Pick a new person, invite them to come over and visit, right? Have lunch. You know it's eventually going to get around to oils and your health, or the way you look or something. So get classes on the books, okay? And I want to encourage you to stay consistent with that, because once you stop, it's really hard to get going again, right? If you do stop and you have a problem starting again, then that's when it's time to join somebody else's classes so that you can get infected again. Maybe my class at 4:30, maybe your uplines class, maybe somebody cross-leg that's close to you, right? You have to get inspired, and having classes regularly, consistently, sharing every single day is the way to keep your business going. So has anybody heard of the Secret Success 2x2? Back in the day, like 9-10 years ago when I started, Jessica Moultrie said that's secret sauce. You share with 2 people every single day, 2 brand new people, and you follow up with 2 people every single day. If you commit to doing that for your first month of the year, or maybe even in February, share with 2 brand new people and follow up with 2 people, you're going to have the funnel of customers regularly coming in. Okay, you see how that recipe will start the momentum of your business? Do you think you can share with 2 brand new people every day and follow up with 2 people every single day? That seems like a simple recipe, but when you're on day 10, you're like, okay, who do I share with? And it's really challenging. And you're going about your day and you're putting gas and you're going grocery shopping. All of a sudden you see somebody, you're like, hey, can we share this with you? Boop, you shared, right? So sharing consistently every single day, 2 by 2. Okay, the next thing I have on my list are vision boards. Who here has started their vision board for the year? Awesome, I see some hands. Vision boards are incredibly powerful. If you don't believe in them, it's time to change your mindset right now, because they seriously do work. I could tell you experience after experience after experience of vision boards that work. Now, you don't have to make it very complicated. Keep it really simple. I challenged somebody here on this call right now the other day to create a vision board for the year. And I'm not even kidding. She really impressed me. I think it was maybe 30 minutes. She sent me a picture of her vision board. And she said, it is my phone, what do you call it? Screen, lock screen. And I said, how in the world did you do that so fast? So she said, Canva. I'd never made a vision board on Canva. I'm super old fashioned when it comes to vision boards. I take the time to collect magazines and cut them out and glue and paste and cut. And I make it a creative outlet for myself, but that takes a lot of time. So I was like, I'm going to have to do this on Canva, because this year I don't have that much time. So I got on Canva and I started clicking around and I'm like, oh my gosh, they have templates, like 6 pictures. Okay, this is going to make it really simple. And I started creating my vision board virtually. It's the first time I've ever done that, but it was fun and I haven't completed it yet. But I was so impressed with Jenny Garcia's fast vision board that she created for her business. And so that is possible. So anybody else want to say anything about vision boards right now?
Yeah, so I've been doing vision boards for a couple of years now. Haven't been completely consistent, but I have an overall one for the year, and then I like to do monthly ones. And my goodness, there's something about just every day, and I put it somewhere where I have to see it. I see it every day. And like I typed in the chat, they've never failed me. I mean, every single thing on there happens.
Awesome. Anybody else? I think a couple of years ago, we actually had a Zoom class on vision boards where we talked about how to create them, what to put on them. Some people get really stuck, right? You could put stuff for your family, spiritual stuff, business stuff. You could create separate ones for each area of your life. If you guys would like to have a vision board specialty class, just let us know. I'm sure Joan and Bree and I could come up with something, right? That would be fun. So get your vision boards made. Highly encourage you to do that. Include things like power of 3. What kind of builder do you want? How many people do you want to take to convention? What rank do you want to hit? Right? All of those things should be on your vision board. And like Bree said, put it someplace where you can see it every day. So it's in your head, you're reminded of it. Vision boards are a must when you're in this business because they keep you on track, just like your power to be word is going to keep you on track. Okay, next, I want to know how many people here have the Business Builder Guide, either the paper copy, good job, or the virtual copy. Okay, very good. For those of you that have a paper copy, open it up to page 10, I think. If you do not have one, you can actually download it from your doTERRA account. They call it the BBG. That's short for Business Builder Guide. And we're going to go through page 13 through 20 really quick. And everyone here, I hope, is going to be able to set a few goals for the next 3 months. Okay, so February, March, April. Mind you, that's when Diamond Club is. So we have a lot to look forward to, because if you're using somebody's code, you have a free oil to offer to your brand new people that you're enrolling. Okay. So Bree, you're at the top of my screen. Can you see my share screen where it says prepare?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So basically know that doTERRA has what do they call it? Pipes, right? As an outline to do our business. PIPES. What does that stand for? Anybody know? Bree, you're mouthing the words. I can see you.
So prepare, invite, present. Wait, what is it? Oh yeah, and enroll and support.
Awesome, very good. So if you're not familiar with that acronym, do some research, download the BBG and go through pages 1 through 10. Okay, so you can get that into your head, because we're going to kick it off right here with prepare. Set yourself up for success. By the end of this prepare step, you will have set goals for your future, laid the groundwork to start sharing and inviting, and created a schedule for your business. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Okay? So success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. I know that some of us here are incredibly busy. Well, everybody here is busy, right? But you can set 15 minutes aside every single day for your business at the very least. And that will, compounded over time, bring benefits. So real quickly, setting up your business. Most of us already know we got to run 100 PV order, loyalty order, in order to qualify for commissions, right? 125 PV before the 15th of the month gets us a free product of the month. If you need support, call your upline, schedule strategy sessions with them. For Premier, for Elite and Premier, you have access to, it's called, there's a special phone number you can call corporate for business questions. Business advancement team is what they're called. Silver and above ranks get their own account manager, and they have a special number where they can call into corporate to get help and answer questions with the business side, and even set up strategy calls with your account manager. doTERRA does offer a class in a box. If you are brand new to doTERRA and you're not teaching your own classes yet, there is a very easy way to set you up for success. It comes with wild orange bottles, all of this stuff in the picture here. think it only costs $35, so it's a great way to get started. And then every single month, there's an abundance of resources to pull from besides your upline. The Empowered Success calls on a monthly basis teach us a lot from presidential diamonds, founders, as well as corporate leaders, okay? But we're gonna focus here, set goals. Successful people set specific goals. Okay, so when you make your vision board, you can put silver rank on it, but it would be much better to also add a date, right? So get clear, because it's the specific goals that help propel us forward. Get clear on what you want and when you want to achieve it. Choose the level of reward you are seeking and the pace at which you want to create those results. By making specific commitments to your success and then setting them to a certain time frame, you are better prepared to engage in the activities that follow. So, what is the basic foundational rank in doTERRA? Somebody unmute themselves.
Elite.
Exactly. Elite, 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 right? Starts there. Elite is how much volume? 3,000 PV. Elites can bring in anywhere from $200 to $350, like it says there. So if you're not elite yet, then you know where you have to set some of your goals, right? Silver, you'll see there, is where you support 3 builders on your front line who are elite. And that's the average price. That's the average income of a silver. Then you see platinum. Focus on those elites on the bottom, right? If you can memorize the rank structure in doTERRA as you continue to build and be consistent, then you'll always come back to elite. Elite at 3,000 PV. Platinum is when you support 3 builders who are silver, who each have 3 elites, okay? And that's how much money you can make there as a platinum. So what do we get to do? We actually get to choose our earnings in this business. There's not too many businesses where you can do that, right? There's usually always a cap. Well, I've hit the cap. I don't know what to do. I want to find a new job where I make more money, right? So that's the fun part of doTERRA. It's really up to you and your efforts on how much money you're going to make. So choose your earnings. Do you want to pay for your product? It's going to be between 3 to 10 hours a week. Okay. Doing what kinds of things? Well, preparing, inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting, all those things that we talked about, that Bree mentioned, right? Do you want to supplement your income? You're looking at a little bit more time investment, 10 to 30 hours. That's a little bit more serious. Okay. You're a little bit more committed. Do you want to replace your income? Gold to presidential diamond income is something that you could live on depending upon where you live. Okay, that requires 25 to 50 hours. So what if you already have another job? How are you going to fit this into your schedule? It's not easy, right? Some of us here are doing it part-time. Some of us here are doing it as a hobby. Maybe I'll see if I can, make this work. That doesn't usually work. I'll tell you that right now. If you're going to say you're a builder and you want to make money with doTERRA, let's do it. Okay. Your upline and me and my upline are here to help you do it. We've done it. We're there already, making good money to support our families and help contribute to our families, right? Maybe some of us could even retire our husbands. I know my husband's retiring from his job in 3 years. He's a welder for Department of Water and Power here in LA. So he has a great job. He loves it. There's no way he's quitting just because I'm making good money. So he's about to retire, but he says when he retires, he's looking forward to sitting around watching me work because he knows I'm not going to retire anytime soon, right? So choose your pace. Here is a little bit of a time frame. It's recommended that if you want to hit elite in 30 days, you could schedule out your classes. You want to hit elite in 60 days. That's how much time, how many customers, how many classes, or if you want to hit elite in 90 days, okay? There will likely be between 1 to 4 weeks of prepping, sharing, and inviting prior to hosting your first presentations. Choose your pace using the timeline of success that's laid out here. Now, if you're using the paper copy, I would highly encourage you to scribble, make notes, do your thing. Begin enrolling through 101s right away with those who are ready to get started with doTERRA, even while in your prepare phase. So, any questions about this particular slide that we have up? Anybody?
Mapu, I don't have a question, but I did want to say that this is still a great framework, even if you've already been a wellness advocate for some time and maybe your business hasn't quite moved in the direction that you wanted to. It's always great to just go back to this. Even if you've already hit elite, just go back to this, use it as a framework to really catapult you to the next level.
Yeah, that's a great point. Has anybody here hit elite in 30 days? Do you remember? Anybody?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Do y'all hear me? It's that my video keeps going, so I'm walking to my daughter's house. Yeah, I got to do that in 30 days, and I was feeling, and my motive was just to pay for my supplements, and that's actually what my motive became for my friends and family. Like, guys, I'm paying for my supplements through this. And that's why I was like, it was shocking. It was surprising, but it was fun.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Viana. It is possible. Some people think, how could I do that? But when you see that another person could do that, it could be encouraging, right? It is possible to hit elite in 30 days. But there is a way to schedule it in 60 days as well as 90 days. So whatever your comfort level is, you can do that, okay? Now, number 3, choose your goals. 90-day goals, 6-month goal, and a 1-year goal. Notice they have how much money a month, okay? What rank do you want to hit? Those are super fun. Come convention time in September, when you look back at this information that you filled out, you're going to be so happy. You're going to be celebrating, and then you're going to be rocking and rolling in your doTERRA business. So let's see what it says here. 4, choose to share. Share these goals with your family and upline mentor and post them where you will see them daily. How committed are you to reaching your elite and 90-day goals? Why is it important to reach your goals at the pace that you set? How will your life change when you reach your 1-year goal? What will your life be like if you never reach your 1-year goal? Okay, so these are serious things to think about, right? Make it a habit to record further insights on how to achieve these goals and build your dreams. So, where do you get started? Every single person in doTERRA, whether you're elite or presidential diamond 3 times, like Elise Shedevy, right? We begin with the names list. So, whose lives do you want to change? Building a successful financial pipeline begins with inviting others to discover how doTERRA Health Solutions and business opportunity can serve them. So in the beginning, when I first started, I'd go to business training like this, and we just had a notepad with lines. We didn't have the business guide. And we were told to just write 1 through 50 and fill out names. Well, things have gotten refined a little bit when it comes to your names list. And I love how they set this up. So they categorized it. You have family, right? So write all their names there. You have friends, right? Current, high school, college, social media friends, write all their names there. Then there's your community, neighbors, Amazon delivery people, school clubs, church congregations, and then there's others, coworkers, product or service providers, your nail technician, your facialist, right? The girl who does your hair. There's a category to put people in, and this really keeps you a lot more organized. So I am going to challenge everybody here. We're going to go back to the top, and I'm going to put a timer on. I'm actually going to stop share because I want to see everybody's face. Who here already has a names list going? Good, some people. So I'm going to put the timer on for 3 minutes only. And I'm going to mute. And I want everybody to start writing down names. And I'm going to challenge you to write down at least 20 names in 3 minutes. Are you all ready? Timer's on. Thirty seconds left. And timer is done. How many names did you come up with? I only got 14. Good job, Kimberly, 13. 9, Yvette. It takes time, right? It takes time. So that could be 7, Julie. Yeah. It could be hard to come up with names when you've already worked your warm market, right? Then you're like, oh my gosh, now who do I talk to? But there's always going to be somebody to share with, somebody to help. And if you really don't have anybody, then you start asking for referrals. Do you know anybody who can benefit from these oils? I'm looking to help more people. That's what you say to your friends that are already enrolled, right? Hey, Barbara, good to see you there. Yeah, and of course, life circumstances take us into situations where we meet new people. Like one person on my list is named Dr. Bowie. It is my mother's doctor, who I really don't like, but I was just there the other day taking my mother to check her blood pressure. And for some reason why it hit me, I should have brought like the reports about what I'm using with my mom at home as far as oils are concerned. Anyways, that's a long story and I'm getting off track, but that's somebody I've never shared with before, but I see her every couple of months and I should be able to, you know, take something in for her, even if it's only to help her deal with her stress as a doctor, because I know that she needs something, right? So continue to work on your names list. They say make a name, make 100 names list. But if you only want to go up to 50 and then you want to start at the top and work through those people, invite them to classes, give them samples. This is where we all start. A lady I met on the plane to convention, I'm finally able to start working with her. Awesome. Love that. Love that, love that. Okay, so work on your names list. You'll always have that to fall back on. If you only put down a couple of names today, that's fine. Every day, add a few more, okay? And then go to your business builder guide and continue to look on how you categorize your names list. Because there are suggestions here and questions that you could ask yourself in order to refine your names list, okay? So sometimes we just jot down names, but what if we get a little bit more specific? Like, would I like this person to work with me in doTERRA? I mean, like, how do you find builders, right? You got to think about it. What kind of person do I want to attract? Do they have the time? Do they have a large network of people that we can help together? So track your top prospects. That's what this names list is going to help you to do, because your business is about numbers. The more people you have in your pipeline, the more customers and builders you are likely to find. So set a goal to find 3 builders in your next 30 to 90 days. I'm on the hunt for 3 new builders, I'm telling you. And it says here, if you don't find builders right away, keep strengthening your list and keep enrolling. Many builders start out as customers who then begin to share. So there's customers, there's shares, and then there's builders, right? Okay, any thoughts about any of this names list kind of thing? There's a memory jogger available to help your memory so that you can come up with names. If you're stuck on that, if you need that, let me know. I'll send you a link to it. But let's move on, okay? So success is not a destination, it is a habit. Remember, we're talking about being consistent, doing things every day for our business, even if it's only 15 minutes a day. I have an accountability partner. Every single morning, we text each other 2 things. Before 10 o'clock, we text each other 2 things that we're going to do for our business. And sometimes she says, I only have this amount of time today, but this is what I'm committed to getting done. By the end of the day at 10 o'clock, we send each other a little check mark and we keep each other accountable. If we weren't able to do what we said we were going to do in the morning, we explain ourselves and then we add it to the next day. It's a great way to keep you motivated, setting yourself up with an accountability partner on a text messaging system like that. So daily, weekly, monthly, and annual goals need to be set. Okay. It could be as simple as posting an invite, making a video about how I use the products, or sharing a sample in an unusual way. But here's some questions to ask yourself. Who can I share product experience with? Who would be open to learning about essential oils? Who attended a presentation and is ready to enroll? Who needs a wellness consult? Who's ready for an introduction to the business? Who's loving their oils and would like to host a class? And who's ready to launch their business? So this is your time pie right there. The dark number is 10% of your time could be spent in preparing, 20% in support. So you see this acronym on the bottom, PIPES, P-I-P-E-S. We say IPEing, I-P-E-I-N-G, because this is where you want to spend the most of your time: inviting, presenting, and enrolling. Okay. So I'm just going to wrap this up with an actual look of a calendar on Google. I think it's like the Google Calendar, Monday through Friday, time blocking, how this person set themselves up for success. Okay. On Monday, they do their team call strategy session with that specific builder. On Tuesday, you can see she has wellness consults, and in the evening, an intro to oils class at a juice bar. On Wednesday, she's having a one-on-one with Marsha. On Thursday, they have their continuing education class. Follow up with names on Success Tracker. And then Saturday, intro to build with Jane. So they took it all the way out, Monday through Saturday. Sometimes when we set ourselves up like this, we're actually much more successful, as opposed to, okay, I'm going to do my doTERRA business now, right? I have time, so I guess I better do some doTERRA business. All these other white boxes here are time to do everything else in our life that we have to get done, right? Spend time with family, cook dinner, do our studies, go to meeting, all that kind of stuff. So it's very effective to set yourself up like this on an actual calendar. So let me go ahead and stop share and open up the screen again. Okay, so what'd you guys think about the Better Business Guide and covering that little section there? Any thoughts? Did that help anybody so far? Go ahead, Viana.
I'm glad we went over this because it did do a refreshment. I know we had gone through some of this with Bree when I first started, but I really love, because when I first started, I just had friends. I didn't have, family. I'm sorry, family and friends. I didn't have, because I think COVID hit and we kind of got out of the norm of socializing in other places. Community and other was not there. Well, recently my husband is starting a new adventure. I always call everything adventures. And I'm networking it. And I met a whole group of new people and community. And I'm pushing myself to go to a lot of his classes. And I'm learning a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. But I'm really selfishly networking my business. And I'm getting to know people and talking and bringing, it's my presentation by my husband, but also for my business. So I was recently able to give like 23 cards out for one of his classes that he went to. And the main guy who owns the business already bought 2 diffusers. And he's like, these oils are amazing. He goes, there's beautiful smells. And I said, yeah, but look at what they're for. So little by little. And so that's why I was able to do 22, because I got everybody's name down. So I tell some of my other friends have gone with me and I'm like, network, just go network, guys. Because we don't have other communities that we get to go out on a lot of times. So it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. So I was really excited how this book it just fell into place. So it was perfect timing, Mapo. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. We have resources that we could use in our business at every different stage that we are at, right? So I'm glad that that helped you. Okay, moving on. Who here uses doTERRA's DMK? Awesome. Does everybody know what the DMK is? Stands for Digital Marketing Kit. It is a free resource that doTERRA provides with all types of social media ideas and posts. Thank you, Kimberly. If you have never seen it before, do your research because they provide some amazing things. Something else that they provide is doTERRA Social. Is anybody here a member of doTERRA Social? I think you have to pay $40, $50 for a year membership. Marva. Oh, no, not Marva. Mentha.
I was. I'm sorry, the phone is ringing. I'm trying to multitask, but yeah, I was, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't renew it, but it was super fantastic.
Yeah, it makes it really easy, right? You don't have to create your own content. Yvette?
Right. No, you don't. You can just, they have a lot there. It's all, and they have an online course too. I took that for the digital marketing. So it's really good.
Awesome. Yvette, you have your hand up?
Yeah, my question with that, with the doTERRA Social, it's not compatible with your phone. It's only the computer, correct? Because I tried through phone and it says it's not compatible for mobile.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to create them on like on a desktop or something, and then save them, and then you can post them using your phone, but all the creation of them has to be on a desktop.
Okay. Thank you.
So I don't use doTERRA Social. I'm not there yet. I would like to check it out, but it takes too much time for me, so I haven't made time to do that. I have been a member of OneDrop. That's another platform to get social media posts from, but I am actually finding doTERRA's DMK free resource to be sufficient for content because I don't want to spend my time doing that. I would rather spend my time inviting, finding new people, enrolling, teaching classes, right? But those resources are available to us. The other thing I want to mention is not to forget about our link generator. Who uses that and absolutely loves it? Yeah, our link generator is amazing. If you are not familiar with it, get with your upline to show you how to use it. Yesterday, I sent a link to the MetaPower course to someone in the morning, and they texted me back in the evening. That was so easy. I finished the course already. I'm ready to order the product. I was like, that was really easy for me too. I don't even have to teach class. I just sent them the course. They learned on their own, right? So the link generator, you could enroll people, you could educate them about a specific product, or you could help them set up, I think it's like a cart or something. There's 3 things that you can do with the link generator, but don't forget about that, okay? The link generator is an amazing resource that doTERRA has helped us use in our business, and it is really good for people who are long distance and you can't get to a class that lives close to you. Okay, wrapping up my list of things here because we are coming up to our time. I wanted to talk about Jessica Moultrie, our Presidential Diamonds Facebook page. Is everybody on her Facebook page? The business one, DIM. It's called Diamonds in the Making. I mentioned this because I went to a training with her a couple of weeks ago, and I did not know that on her Facebook page at the top, she has 2 very important posts that are pinned. One is to help you launch a new builder, and there's tons of videos there. So it's a step-by-step process. When you have a new builder, this is what we want to do. This is the next thing we want to do. The second pinned post at the top of her Facebook page is all about MetaPower. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so, because she offers a 5-minute, 15-minute, and 30-minute class on MetaPower. So that is a good resource to learn from and also use. Okay. Last but not least, I want to mention Oil Studies. The name of that Facebook group is called Diamonds in the Making, DIM, by Jessica Moultrie. So Oil Studies is taking place this week. That is something that Beth Phillips, our upline, is promoting heavily to her team. If you're not part of it, you still have an opportunity, because they're going to be conducting oil studies for the next 6 months, I think, on a regular. So this is my second time participating in oil studies, and I only have one person in the study, but they are already loving it. And I've already gotten 2 people that I'm going to run through oil studies in February. So Oil Studies is a 1-week texting on My Event Cafe oil class. So if you want to learn more about that, just give me a call and I'll schedule a one-on-one Zoom with you to send you all the links and explain to you how it works. The study is on 3 subjects: stress and anxiety, which is like one category, right? Pain and digestive issues. So your participant will get products for whichever category they want help with. And then they get plugged into My Event Cafe and learn about products there. Then you follow up with them afterwards, after the study is all over, and you have a one-on-one, a wellness consult, and see if they want to enroll or want more samples. Has anybody had experience with oil studies yet and wants to share? No? Oh, Bree, go ahead.
Yeah, so I've participated in a couple of them, and it's really all about the follow-up. So it does require us to be checking in with these people that we're sampling all throughout, but it works. You know, if you do that, it absolutely works. But just something to keep in mind, there was, and I say this from personal experience, because there was one time that I did participate in the study, and life happened, things were happening, and I didn't have an opportunity to follow up with them the way I should have. And so that was not successful. But all the other times when you do, you check in with them almost on a daily basis, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, it's a great setup. And so, like I said, if you want to know more about it and you want to participate, then just let me know and I'll set up a Zoom so that I could explain it. And we can get you started in it. Okay. Now, I want to encourage all the builders to be on our Friday classes. Okay. Most of you here are, but it is important that you show up on one of the Friday classes, either 1:30 or 5:30. Please commit, because your customers will use these resources. I have so many people that contact me and say, I love the Friday classes because we learn so much, right? However, for the year of 2023, the first Monday of every month after the 30-minute continuing education, I'm going to run a business class. So every single month, we're going to have something like this, but already on a Friday attached to our continuing education. Okay. So keep that in mind, because that will be our opportunity to keep each other accountable, ask any other business questions, and talk about what doTERRA is coming up with, because it's January, right? March is leadership. So what is leadership? It's a special live event that doTERRA holds every single year for people like us who are doing the business. It's where we get inspired. It's where they help us to set more goals. It's where you hear experiences of people who have failed and are starting again, right? So who here has been to leadership? Okay, lots of us, right? Who's going to leadership, either virtually or in person? So if you're not going to go in person, because this year it is in Orlando, Florida, if you're not going in person, doTERRA is making it available virtually. I forget how much the ticket is. Joan, do you know how much the tickets are? Okay. Watch for those types of invites. I saw something on Facebook, I think it was today, about leadership for the price of tickets, accommodations, and all things like that. Bree?
I believe it's still at the discounted rate right now of for in-person is 79, but the price is gonna go up in February, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so $79 for a ticket to some event, to an event like this is not much. It's an investment in your business and you get tenfold out of it by going, okay? This year I am attending virtual because flying from California costs an arm and a leg. Plus I have a labor doula client due the week after. And so I'm going to take it in virtually at home by myself. It's going to be a little different experience for me. But I highly encourage you to get there in person if you can. Okay, it's worth every penny. For those of you that are already going in person, raise your hand. So Joan, Bree, Yvette. Okay, our East Coast people, you should be there in person. There's no excuses, right? So if you need help, reach out to somebody who you already know is going on this team, and we can answer any kind of questions, whether it comes to accommodations, the agenda, those types of things, what takes place, what you will be learning, and that kind of stuff. Okay, so in person is amazing. Yes, it is. Thank you very much. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Okay, so let me check a look at my list. Builders need to be on a Friday class. The first Friday of every month will be a business class as well. Okay. February oil studies begin on the 13th, if you want to mark that in your calendar. And Beth Phillips is running her 30-day Meta Power Challenge, which is called Metaversity, on February 19th. Highly recommend that we all join her Meta Power Challenge, Meta Power Versity. She will be putting announcements out about that in her Facebook page, Oil Mavens. Okay. And then Diamond Club is starting again, February through April. It's only 3 months. You guys need a code, reach out to Bree or Michelle or somebody that you know is doing Diamond Club. It's not only a time for them to build their business, but we get to be infected by their energy. And so our businesses are also going to grow, and we're going to get to have a lot of fun together. What are the incentives, Bree? What do we get to offer our brand new people that we're going to enroll if we use your code?
Yeah, so they will receive a adaptive is the first one. So if they place a 100 PV order from 100 to 300 PV, it's adaptive. If they do 300 PV, then they get the adaptive and the Pebble diffuser. So that's pretty fantastic. On top of them being eligible to earn product points for placing an LRP the following month. So it's an excellent time for us to get lots of people enrolled, be able to help lots of people. And then doTERRA is taking care of giving them that extra little incentive to sign up.
Awesome. So adaptive or adaptive with the diffuser. And they've never done that before in Diamond Club, offer a diffuser. Everybody needs a diffuser, right? So we have something to offer people February through April. Use the Diamond Club code. If you need help with that, reach out to your upline. We'll get you all set up. Okay. So that wraps it up for my particular list of things that I wanted to cover. Now I am going to use the last couple of moments to open it up to you guys. How are your businesses going? What do you want to accomplish? What do you need help with? Yvette?
I'm gonna go for it. Well, I'm still working on trying to get to silver. It's been a year since I mentioned it in last leadership. So my husband and I, we've been talking and we have been getting our list together. I've been mentioning to Bree that this is the year that we have to get there. So we already started some things like you said, I think for us that worked much better has been in person, because last year, you know, we had a lot going on, and like September on, or I think it was August, just doing in-person classes, it was like the biggest months I ever had, my whole entire career with doTERRA. So that's what we're concentrating on. I think being more into, like, I agree with you, being with the classes. I know sometimes we get busy, and I know I get busy with everything, you know, and being the front runner for everybody else. So I think it is important, and just inviting people to go to those classes, because that's how they educate themselves. That's how I educated myself. So I think that you guys already give enough help. It's just me reaching out. So
Okay, two things, okay? I'm so proud of you admitting that it's you.
Mhm.
You need to do more. You need to reach out more. You need to have more in-person classes, right? Because that shows you're taking responsibility for your business, and that's great. Now let me backtrack. You know how to invite. You know how to share, right?
Yeah.
You know how to present. Support is already there for you.
Mhm.
So you know what you got to do. So thank you for sharing your goal. We're all going to help you stay accountable, push you forward, answer any questions, and continue to be here. But you're going for silver, okay? So we
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah, we're working on that. I think the better presenter is my husband, because every time he shows up, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, they, you know, so I'm just trying more to. He has the more of the time now, so
Okay,
this
so
is
let me
something
ask
that we're.
you, this. What is a silver organization?
What's a silver organization? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely me being the front runner. Definitely me. No.
No. Tell me what your team needs to look like. How many people?
Oh, well, definitely more. I have pretty much some elites because they're under Wendy. Wendy is my front runner. Wendy has been really, really done very well.
How many legs do you need?
Well, that's the thing. I have a couple, but it's not working out with them. You know, I
How
just,
many legs do you need for silver?
it's 3.
And what rank do they need to be at?
Premier. Or elite, sorry.
Get it straight, Yvette. Get it straight.
And that's my problem. That's my problem, because I've never been really business savvy. Like,
Okay,
I learn stuff and I can't retain it sometimes. And
let's
Bree knows. It's like, you could tell me a million times and it's like, why can't I?
because you're making it too difficult.
That's true.
You got to keep it simple. So how many legs do you need?
3.
What rank do they have to be at?
Elite.
What's the volume of an elite?
3,000.
Got it. That's all you have to
Okay.
think about. Okay, that's all you have to think about for silver. You have 1 good leg. So how many legs do you now need?
I have 2. I have one that's not so bad. It's just getting to the 3,000.
Okay, so you definitely need 1 more builder, right? For
Yeah.
silver. So be
Yeah.
on the hunt, make that one of your goals, practice the business presentation. Okay, so awesome. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Jenny?
So for me, I've been really trying to tap into using my strengths, and it kind of goes in line with us choosing our word. Because for me, my number one strength is input. And so when you're in your basement with your input, you're just too much. So trying to condense it and clarify it and really organize it. So that's why I picked the word focus, because I need to focus my energies on certain things. And the thing that you were mentioning earlier about the 15 minutes, like that was something that was brought up in a training that I went to with Eddie at the end of December, talking about those 15-minute increments. You know, we all have a busy schedule and we want to accomplish things, but if we just cut it down to those 15 minutes and we implement those 15 minutes throughout the day of whatever we're trying to do, it makes it more manageable. And then I did another training the other day that was somebody under Eddie, and he was talking about our why. And so that was something that I struggle with because I kind of know my why, but trying to really convey it. And so he used the word why as like an acronym. So he broke it down for the W for who. So who do you like working with? Like if you're trying to find builders, right? For whom can you guarantee results? Or who do you want to repel? So even in our business, that was kind of an interesting thing of who do we want to repel? So in the sense of maybe the type of customers that we don't want or the type of builders that we don't want, right? For H, it was how. So using your skills, so using your unique skills and finding what you're really good at and using that when we're, you know, engaging in these business different activities with pipes. But then the why was for your, so tapping into your life events, your story, your passions, the challenges that you overcame. So in looking at those, that can help us to really shape our why.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jenny. Fiona?
My comment kind of goes based off what Jenny says is that I know this month start or the beginning, they said, find your word. And my word keeps I've been boggling and I say different words, but I'm just not. But a while back, a couple of days ago, when I was thinking about things, I keep going back to why? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing the energy? What am I doing to make this work? And who are the people I need to do it for? They are my why. So right now it's like that keeps going back to my word of January or the year, why? And I can tell you, we don't have it's ridiculous, but this is extra money to pay for our products because we don't have the money to pay for our products. And this is not just my problem. This was my downline's problem. This was what my friends' problems were. And I was like, this is my desire. This is my why. And I'm all my power of three are people who are also struggling just to get our LLV. And that was passionate to me. It's still passionate to me. So guys, my word for January is, the year of 2023 is why I am going to keep going forward, why I'm going to keep pushing this, because I know what we're going through. My friends, my people are going through things that need extra money. That's my why.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you, Fiona. So attending these classes, business classes, can refine us in many different ways, can help us to reach different conclusions, can help us to set better goals, right? Joan.
Sorry. Okay. I had a hard time unmuting. I was just going to share that I changed up what I do at the end of a class as far as trying to get classes booked off of classes. So you've had a class, 7 people showed up or whatever. Can you get them to host a class for you at their house or invite their family or their friends? And so I did make a sign that I now am putting up at my class. So this has been successful, that I'm giving away a wild orange to anyone who books a class. And I'm giving it to them right then. So we're booking a class. You're walking away with this. You're keeping this class. Like it just, I don't know, there's accountability there that I feel like that's working well. So I just made up it's just a sign that goes into a clear plastic little stand that sits on my counter. And then I also limited it to 3, like the first 3 people who book a class get a wild orange. So they know, get on that list first, make sure you're one of the people that gets the wild orange. So that's just another tip you could do at the end of your classes. Make sure that everybody knows that you're willing to go to their home or wherever to help their people as well.
Awesome. See, I love that suggestion. Make sure you book classes. Once you have a class, give away a sample or a bottle of oil, some kind of incentive, and get it on the calendar before they leave your house. Yeah, that's good. That's creating momentum. That's keeping the ball rolling, right? That's reaching new people. Thanks for sharing that. That is very successful. Okay, we could also on our business meetings cover subjects like money hangups, right? Sometimes we say, I'm just doing this to help people, but we're really in a business. We got to think about the money. There's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money, right? We could also cover subjects like sales. What is your attitude towards sales? Do you mind saying, I'm in the sales industry, right? Because that's part of our business, right? We sell things. So mindset about that. We can bring in special speakers for our business meetings, but I think I'd like to, I think I'm going to really look forward to our 30 minutes of business meetings the first Friday of every single month. Because some of us here are better at inviting. Some of us here are better at presenting. Some of us here can learn from others on how to teach an in-person class and share our ideas like Joan just did, right? So, okay, lots of good things taking place. Circling back to Jenny really quick before we wrap this up. What are give me one of your goals. How is it that you're utilizing all of this information that you're taking in? You like input is one of your top strengths. Learner, obviously, right? Yeah. So how are you going to use all of this? You can take in as much as you can, but give me one way you're going to use it.
Just kind of picking and choosing the things that are really important and trying to share that with the team. So not just people that are directly under me, but for the rest of the team. That way we can all grow together and learn together and adapt to those things together in our own ways.
Okay, that's great. I love that. Absolutely love that. But I don't think that's an income producing activity for you as far as like teaching classes, inviting, and all that kind of stuff. Give me one goal in that arena for your business. Do you know what I mean? I know you already do booths, so that's great. You put yourself out there a lot in front of strangers, and you're great on Instagram.
Just working on scheduling more one-on-ones. So I did a one-on-one last week, and that was really successful. I signed them up on the spot. I had another one this last Saturday, still kind of working through that in terms of some of the samples she got. So just kind of sticking closely with her, following up more, giving her more options if maybe the things that I gave didn't necessarily work. Just reassuring her that we're going to find something.
Okay, awesome. Having more one-on-ones. I love that. Being more specific with that. Okay, because you have a lot of knowledge and I love to hear it. And you know, I come to you for advice on certain things, but that's not the income producing activity that we want you to do to move your business forward. Do you get it? So I wanted to hear that. You're going to have more one-on-ones. You're going to share with people. But remember, the downside or the flip side to that is you don't have to teach them A through Z. Keep it simple, right? More one-on-ones. Love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody, that's our time. We kind of went over, but I think it was great. I'm appreciative that you showed up, and I hope you found value out of some of the things that we talked about, and you're more inspired to continue doing your doTERRA business and growing it. So if you have any questions, reach out to your upline or to me personally, and we will help each other. Okay? Have a great Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank